Good Monday to you. I'm Storm Team 9 Meteorologist Patrick Ellis here with your ENC Weather Update for this January the 27th, 2014. Obviously, the big story now is what is going to happen as we head into the next 24 to 48 hours. And we are still talking about a significant snowfall with this winter storm that'll be moving into the region. So let's kind of put down everything that we know right now. There's still things that will be hammered out even leading up to the event. The first snowflakes may be falling. We're tweaking the forecast, but for right now, this is the best guess that we've got, and we'll give you our full thoughts. All right, let's start off with the watches, advisories, and warnings. Everything that is shaded in pink, that is a winter storm warning that is in effect, that will go into effect early tomorrow morning and will continue through Wednesday afternoon. The blue shading that you see back to the north and west, that is a winter storm watch that is still in effect north and west of the Raleigh-Durham metro. What we are talking about, what it constitutes a winter storm, basically is the potential to see at least 4 inches of snow, and also you have to tag in the fact that we're probably going to see some sleet and freezing rain out of this thing down here towards the coast, and that's, I think it's a 1/10 of an inch of freezing rain or sleet that has to, or quarter inch rather, freezing rain and sleet that constitutes as a winter storm. So we are watching this very closely because this thing's going to evolve even more as we go into the next couple of hours. So we've been showing this graphic profusely because I think that it still shows the possibility, the wide range of possibilities. The cold air is going to be there. That's not an issue, at least at the surface. Now, aloft, that's a different issue because we're going to be having some warm air trying to sneak in there. The big issue is how much warm air gets into the mid-layers of the atmosphere and how far inland does that protrude. It will depend on this track of the low, and I can't stress that enough. If it swings a little further to the west, it's a completely different setup. If it swings a little further to the east, somebody's outside of snow completely. So I implore people to be vigilant in saying, you know, there is going to be that snow sleet line. Where does that set up? That's another thing that we're going to be watching. Where does that line basically lay itself across? For right now, we're still thinking down east areas, out for the inner banks in some locations, and as far north as New Bern for at least a time period before it all switches over to snow. I think everybody does go over to snow eventually, and I think that will likely happen sometime on Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. But the onset of this, and that will likely continue through a good chunk of Tuesday afternoon, there will be sleet across this corridor at least. Now there could be even more sleet trying to get a little further inland. We'll have to watch that, but for right now, I think anybody who lives east of Highway 17 pretty much, that is going to be the best chance for seeing sleet and freezing rain, then eventually switching all over to snow. So our precision forecast model, this is the short range precision forecast model. This stops at 7 o'clock in the morning. Look here down towards Onslow, Jones, Craven, Pamlico, Carteret counties. That's a mixture of rain, snow, sleet, and freezing rain. And you see some heavier amounts. I think Onslow County may be the winner as far as ice is concerned, especially down towards, say, Sneads Ferry, out towards Folkestone, out towards Verona. That's going to be the area where we probably see the sweet spot of maybe a 1/10 of an inch of ice accumulating. Lesser amounts as you head further off towards the north and east, but there's still going to be a significant amount to be noticed. But as you see there's the transition of snow is right around New Bern. It's going to be close, I think, for New Bern in tomorrow morning, whether or not you are seeing snow to start or you see that mixed bag going on. But you see off towards the north, not very much. Basically just cloudy and just darn right cold with temperatures in the 20s. Well, fast forward this to about 3 o'clock, and you see most of this starting to switch over to snow. As the upper level disturbance comes on top of us and dynamically cools the atmosphere, that is going to basically kill everything down on the surface, everything below freezing at the surface, even down at Morehead City. But I will tell you this, that 850 millibar warm nose is going to be a stinker to try to get out of there through the day on Tuesday. So that's why we're talking about sleet to ice down there. And you see mainly light to moderate snow showers, but there could be a couple heavier bands here and there. Where those bands set up, that's where you could get a dumping, but at the same time, we just don't know. The atmosphere doesn't say it's going to be here. The models can't really say it's going to be exactly here at this exact time. We can give you a roundabout answer, and try to give you the potential. That's what we've been trying to do. Everybody switches over to snow by Tuesday evening, maybe out towards Cape Lookout in the Outer Banks. We're still dealing with some P-type issues, but everybody's over to snow for inland eastern North Carolina by Tuesday evening. There could be points during this where we have snow rates of about an inch an hour. It won't be constant, but there will be bursts of that happening. So we'll just have to watch that closely, and that could bring down visibilities a good bit. So the wind forecast is going to be darn right breezy as well out of the north and northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Gusts will be as high as 25 to 30 miles per hour, especially near the coastline. So not only we're talking about snowfall, but with a brisk north wind, we could have some blowing and drifting to go along with this as well as we head into the afternoon hours of Tuesday and into Wednesday morning. And then, once again, frozen precipitation. It is very hard to pinpoint, and that's why I'm talking about this warm nose, because it's been pronounced on the models, especially east of Highway 17 during the first portion of this event. And you get that warm nose in there, it melts the snowflakes, and then it all switches over to liquid and then refreezes and becomes sleet. And that's what we're likely going to be seeing as we head into Tuesday down for our down east areas. So our thoughts right now: threats, sleet and snow, and some of which could be heavy. Starting as early as Tuesday morning, south and east, down towards Onslow County, Carteret County, Jones County. You saw that on the precision forecast model where the moisture was already starting to ramp up, and that will continue through the day on Wednesday. Impacts. Talking about icy roads. This is going to be a wintry mess no matter what. And the icy roads, I think, come even more into play after the event, when we have a little bit of snow melt and temperatures staying below freezing for a couple of days. There will be some blowing and drifting, especially Outer Banks and down east areas where you will be seeing winds 20, 30 miles per hour. There could be some sporadic power outages. Not talking about widespread, but there could be some power outages to contend with. Here's our thoughts on the snowfall forecast. And I know people are going wild about this amount. Just look at this as a generality, okay? Don't look at this as an exact figure for your exact location. Look at this as an approximation for a wide area, because we cannot give you down to your street how much you're going to get. So what we're thinking right now, 2 to 4, maybe as high as 5 inches as you head up north and mainly to the north and west of US 301 around the Rocky Mount area, Rocky Mount Wilson area. There will be a band of about 3 to 6, and we've been talking about how steep the gradient of snow is going to be, because some people may be getting hammered in some portions of the east, while you go 5 miles up the road, it's completely different because of the track of the low, where the band sets up, that's going to be the thing that we'll be watching for. Then you head down south, and there looks like there will be a swath of at least 4 inches, possibly as high as 8 inches. Now, there could be isolated pockets that see a foot. We won't deny that. There are going to be isolated pockets that see that, but that's going to be the exception to the rule. I think for the most part, some people within that area will see at least 8 inches. Some people will see closer to 4. There could be an isolated pocket that sees maybe 10. It will really depend on how much snow falls in a certain area. Down to the south of New Bern, 3 to 5 inches, maybe a little lower if the sleet takes a little bit more of a predominant type, and we could be talking about 2 to 4 down that way, but we are expecting about 1/10 of an inch of sleet and ice. That is going to make things very slick on the roadways. And after all that, finally, by the time we head towards Wednesday evening, things start to taper off. But you see the temperatures, they stay very, very low. Maybe not cracking freezing on Thursday thanks to the snowpack in place, even though we will have mostly to partly sunny skies. More sunshine by Friday. We will make it back to 45. The big thing is, if there is any snow melt on Thursday, that will refreeze on Friday. Friday night we go down to 20 degrees, we get up to 45, and once again we could have the potential for some freezing again on Friday. But you see, by Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we do have a chance for rain, plain rain, with temperatures in the 50s. So if you don't like the snow, we do get out of this. But the main story, obviously, is going to be the next 48 hours here across eastern North Carolina. And I want to go back to the snowfall accumulation map and show that again. This is, again, a generalization of what could happen. We've seen model run after model run that have been very high amounts, others low amounts. It wavers back and forth. And I bet you we will be tweaking this forecast all the way up until the first flurries and probably even between that. So you just got to take this and look at it and say, where do I live? What can I at least expect? And then go with it. I think everybody just needs to be prepared for a significant winter weather situation here across eastern North Carolina. That is the main story. Don't worry about the amounts. Just worry about keeping your family safe during this, because this could get potentially nasty, especially in some locations. We don't want to hear any bad news out of this. We want everybody to just go outside and be happy, playing around in the snow. That's what we want to hear about. So we will keep you up to date, Facebook, Twitter, WNCT.com, on all the latest. We will be here in the Storm Team 9 Forecast Center starting tomorrow morning to keep you guys updated. We're already here, but we will keep you guys updated around the clock on all of our social media networks, and also our new Storm Team 9 app that is available for free in the App Store and also the Google Play Store. You can download that and also look at the radar there, and also our video discussions and also our blog discussions. Have a great rest of your evening. Stay safe, stay warm out there, eastern North Carolina, and we'll talk to you in about 24 hours, if not less, here on the ENC Weather Update video.